The ultimatum. The sky lit up with 1,000 unnatural stars. They weren't comets. They weren't meteor showers. They were ships, sleek, silver crescents descending from orbit, casting massive shadows over Earth's continents. Moments later, every screen, every device, every satellite broadcast the same image, a glowing, angular figure, non-humanoid, almost crystalline, speaking in perfect, neutral accented English. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Federation. You have reached technological maturity and must now join the greater order. Compliance ensures peace, prosperity, and survival. Reject this offer, and we will enforce order by other means. It wasn't a request. It was colonization wrapped in civility. In the emergency bunker beneath the old UN complex, now reinforced for orbital strikes, Admiral Helena Voss stood still, watching the projection replay. Around her, the chamber erupted into shouting. Some delegates were frightened, some furious. Helena didn't speak. Not yet. President Okoye of Nigeria slammed her hand on the steel table. They said compliance. That's a polite word for surrender. We can't beat them. We shouldn't even try. They claim it's for peace, muttered a delegate from New Canada. Trade, technology, defense. That's tempting. Tempting, growled Colonel Wexler, head of Earth's unified defense. You want to trade your sovereignty for protection you didn't ask for? Helena finally stepped forward, her voice cutting through the clamor like a blade. Do any of you believe they came offering peace out of kindness? No, they came because they're afraid of what we might become. Silence. She tapped on the screen, bringing up orbital scans. Federation ships blanketing every escape route, their weapons hot, their positions tight. They fear us because we're unpredictable, uncontained. We break rules. We invent. We improvise. And we never, ever kneel without a fight. General Alvarez stood. What's our chance of survival, Admiral? Helena looked him in the eye. 0, if we comply. Murmurs. Some fearful, some awakening with the first glimmers of defiance. They want us to fall in line, she continued, voice rising, to become another docile client race in their galactic empire. But they miscalculated, because they assumed we'd rather be safe than free. She turned to the chamber's broadcasting node. Patch me to the planet. All of it. Technicians hesitated, then obeyed. Helena stood before the global feed, every screen, every radio, every neural link tuned in. Her voice rang out. This is Admiral Helena Voss. The Galactic Federation has issued an ultimatum. Surrender or perish. I say, neither. We choose resistance. Not because we're suicidal, but because we are human, and humans do not submit. We fight. We endure. We survive. If they want to take our world, they'll have to burn for it. The speech ended. Orbital feeds went dark as Earth jammed the Federation signals. In the shadows of the deep Earth bunkers, hidden factories roared to life. Old satellites flickered online, and for the first time in centuries, Earth prepared for war. Not as nations, but as one species. The first strike. The first shot wasn't fired by Earth. It was delivered from orbit, an antimatter lance that vaporized a decommissioned satellite above the Pacific, sending debris raining down over the ocean like falling stars. A warning. A demonstration of the Federation's firepower. Their arrogance was textbook. They expected fear, panic, surrender. Instead, they got silence. Then chaos. Then fire. Admiral Helena Voss stood in the command center of the Aegis, Earth's flagship orbital defense platform, watching as Federation ships moved into lower orbit, their hulls bristling with weapons never before seen by human eyes. She leaned forward. Signal Archangel and Hammerfall teams. Begin blackout and activate the grid. With a nod from her communications officer, Earth's countermeasures roared to life. Powerful electromagnetic pulses surged across the upper atmosphere, scrambling the Federation's sensors. Hundreds of dormant satellites, long dismissed as obsolete, awoke, revealing their true purpose. Some housed kinetic rods, others railguns. A few carried ancient nuclear payloads refitted with smart warheads. Helena watched the first impact on the tactical screen. A tungsten rod, traveling at 10 kilometers per second, pierced a Federation frigate like a spear through paper. The alien vessel exploded in a silent, beautiful bloom of fire and shrapnel, its debris scattering across space. Commander Juno from the drone division grinned. One down. Good, Helena said. Now hit them again. The Federation's return fire was vicious. Plasma arcs lanced across Earth's upper defenses, tearing through several automated drone clusters. One of the kinetic satellite platforms exploded, lighting up the sky above South America. Civilians on the ground stared upward in awe and terror as battle raged silently in the heavens. On the dark side of the moon, a hidden base launched Earth's experimental stealth fighters, small, agile, almost invisible to alien scanners. They weaved through enemy formations, planting magnetic mines and delivering hacking payloads into communication arrays. Inside one Federation ship, an overconfident alien commander barked orders, only to watch in horror as his navigation screen went dark, overrun by a virus written by a 17-year-old hacker from Mumbai. The ship spun out of formation and crashed into another. Earth had no massive capital ships, no planet crackers, no hyperspace cannons, but it had something far more dangerous: creativity, desperation, and a deep, centuries-old mastery of asymmetric warfare. And it was working. Status. Helena barked. We've crippled 5 ships, confirmed kills on 3. They're retreating to high orbit, Juno reported. We gave them hell. Helena didn't smile. Not yet. They're regrouping. That was just the first wave. A priority alert flashed across her screen. She tapped it and stared. It was a live transmission from the Federation. Admiral Tal appeared on the screen, reptilian features twisted in disdain. You have made your choice, primitive. You will now witness what resistance brings. Then the feed cut. Helena turned to her officers. They're coming harder next time. She looked toward the stars, jaw clenched. Let them. Resistance spreads. The Federation's brutal strike was meant to break humanity's will. Instead, it forged a fire that spread beyond Earth. Helena Voss sat in the dim glow of the command center, reviewing incoming messages from across the galaxy. They weren't all hostile. Far from it. Hidden deep in the cosmic shadows, forbidden transmissions crackled through long-abandoned communication networks. Outlawed factions, rebels, pirates, even exiles were reaching out. They had seen what Earth had done, a small, backward world punching back against the most powerful empire in the galaxy. The most surprising message came from the Valkyrie, an enigmatic alien race long believed extinct. Their voice was synthesized, emotionless yet curious. We observe your defiance. Impressive for a species so young. Our fates may be intertwined. Helena nodded to her lieutenant. Patch them through. A star map blinked into existence, revealing hidden Federation command hubs and supply lines. We offer alliance. In exchange, we seek aid to undermine the Federation's control, the Valkyrie voice said. The war had become bigger than Earth. Back on the surface, civilian factories once making consumer goods had been retooled into arms workshops. Entire cities were networked into cyber warfare cells, coordinating strikes against Federation comms and surveillance satellites. In underground bunkers, scientists reverse-engineered alien tech scavenged from downed ships, creating new weapons that blended human ingenuity with stolen Federation designs. The galaxy was watching, and the first cracks were appearing in the Federation's iron grip. Outposts on distant planets reported uprisings. Worlds that once bowed quietly were now lighting fires of rebellion. Small, isolated incidents at first, but rapidly gaining momentum. At the United Earth Council, Helena addressed the delegates. The Federation underestimated us, she said. Our resistance is contagious. Other species are beginning to question their masters. This is no longer a battle for Earth. It's a battle for freedom itself. Her second-in-command, Commander Reyes, stepped forward with grim news. Our recent strike on the Theta Relay Hub succeeded, but at a cost. Reyes, our best cyber warfare officer, was lost during the operation. Helena's expression hardened. He gave his life to ensure this message reaches every corner of the galaxy. Humanity will not bow. The Federation responded with increased brutality, public executions, planetary lockdowns, and scorched earth tactics meant to intimidate. But every act of oppression fueled the fires of rebellion. On a quiet night in the Orbital Command Center, Helena stood before a bank of consoles, broadcasting a message that would echo through space. Her voice, calm but resolute, filled every frequency the Federation controlled. To the Galactic Federation, you declared us rogue. You threatened annihilation. We declare our defiance eternal. Resistance is not a crime. It is a right. If you want to extinguish the flame of freedom, prepare for the galaxy to burn. Across distant stars and shadowed planets, that message sparked hope. The war was far from over, but the tide had begun to turn. The tide turns. The galaxy held its breath. The Federation was not a forgiving empire. They had crushed rebellions before, worlds burned, fleets obliterated, descent erased. But Earth was different. Earth was a beacon now, a spark that ignited countless fires across the stars. Federation High Command unleashed their largest fleet yet. Hundreds of capital ships, dreadnoughts, and battle cruisers, converging toward the Sol system with cold precision. Their goal: crush the human rebellion before it could spread further. Admiral Helena Voss stood on the deck of the Aegis II, Earth's newest orbital command ship, watching the incoming fleet approach through reinforced viewports. The black expanse of space was suddenly crowded with Federation warships, silent predators ready to devour. But Helena had spent years preparing for this moment. Deploy the decoys, she ordered. Activate the gravity wells. Initiate all electronic warfare protocols. Her team worked in tense harmony. Small craft darted from hidden hangars, releasing clouds of sensor jammers and holographic projections. Artificial gravity wells, created from deep space mining operations, twisted the battlefield, drawing in unsuspecting enemy vessels like moths to a flame. Federation dreadnoughts, mighty and arrogant, found themselves ensnared in a deadly trap. The crushing forces tore through their hulls, disabling engines and weapon systems. One by one, massive ships exploded into brilliant firestorms. Meanwhile, Earth's rebel allies, pirates, Valkyrie, exiles, struck in unison on Federation supply lines and command hubs across five-star systems. The galaxy was ablaze with uprisings. Inside the command ship of the Federation fleet, Admiral Tkal seethed. These humans are an infestation. Exterminate them at all costs. Helena heard the words, transmitted through encrypted channels she had hacked hours earlier. She smiled grimly. Not today. In a daring move, she boarded the Federation flagship using a stealth pod. The mission was nearly suicidal. If caught, it meant death. But Helena was driven by conviction, not fear. Inside the alien vessel, she fought through corridors lined with unfamiliar technology and cold, unfeeling sentries. At the heart of the ship, she confronted Tkal himself. They clashed, human grit versus alien discipline, improvisation against rigid order. With a final surge, Helena disabled the ship's core systems, triggering a catastrophic overload. Before the explosion consumed them both, Helena broadcast a message to every Federation frequency. You demanded compliance. We gave you resistance. Now we give the galaxy hope. The flagship erupted in a blinding light, scattering debris into the void. Helena's sacrifice became legend. Across the stars, millions mourned and rallied. The Federation empire fractured. Former allies broke away. The Galactic Accord formed, a new coalition where Earth sat at the table not as a subject, but as a sovereign equal. On Mars, a statue of Helena stood tall, etched in steel and stone, bearing the inscription, "Freedom is not given. It is fought for." And humanity, once threatened with submission, had rewritten the fate of the galaxy.